Clark, this game is brought to you in HD TV by LG. Life's good. John Cal, Tom Eads, Ted Valentine, the officials, who have the honor of being selected to govern the title game. Zubak and Matt Howard, who suffered that mild concussion on Saturday, about to jump it up. Big size advantage here for Zubak, but Howard is able to control the tip back to Norred. This is going to be a fascinating matchup right here. Norred and Nolan Smith. Bounce pass over to Howard, and he's fouled on the shot. Fouled by Lance Thomas.
Terrific execution. One of the things I'm going to look at, there are a number of intriguing matchups, Jim. You talked about Smith and Norred, but how about the mobility of Matt Howard dealing with Lance Thomas and perhaps Brian Zubak inside? That'll be something to keep an eye on as well.
That one spins out for Howard, junior, who was his league's player of the year a season ago in the Horizon. A junior from Connorsville, Indiana, over near the Ohio border. And he gets the first point of the championship game.
Let's see how they match up with Shire. It looks like Norred will match up with Shire. Hayward on Thomas to start. Beasley on Singler. Howard on Zubak. And Shelvin Mack defending Smith.
That's Shire.
Oh, there are those quick hands that Coach Krzyzewski was concerned about with this team.
But Nolan Smith puts it up quickly for two. I thought they might have Norred on Nolan Smith at the other end.
Well, I think the matchups to start the game could certainly change throughout the game, Jim, because all of the Butler defenders are quite versatile.
They feed it back to Howard again, and a little dipsy-do does not go for Howard.
But already you saw there he has a foot speed advantage on Zubak.
Shelvin Mack again on Nolan Smith, who has really emerged in this NCAA tournament.
Has he ever? 19 points a game in the tournament. And 45% three-point shooting for Nolan Smith.
Zubak and Hayward defending. Big size advantage, shot off the mark, pulled down by Norred. Here's Hayward touching it for the first time. Gives it up to Matt. Snaps it over to Norred. This is a three. And bounce it out to Singler.
Excellent offense that time by Butler as they pushed it ahead, Jim, and got an early opportunity look at the three. I think they've got to make sure they do that as many chances as they get.
Thomas left open. Zubak taps it in. He has been a monster on the offensive glass in the NCAA tournament. Almost 5 offensive rebounds a game. They're able to feed it again inside to Howard. Left-handed hook. No.
Boy, Butler getting high-quality shots here in the early going, Jim. Just have not been able to convert. They've got to knock down these good shots they've been getting.
Smith goes right around Howard. And Duke's up 6-1. If Butler is going to do it tonight, it's going to be because of that defense. Mike Krzyzewski, you heard him saying that on the pregame. That's what they're concerned about. Mack on the drive. Zubak able to tap it to himself. And one and done for the Bulldogs.
Well, I talked about offensive efficiency at the top of the telecast, Jim. 0 for 4 from the floor for Butler, and all 4 shots have been high-quality looks.
It's Thomas in the paint. Back out to Smith. Driving on Mack. Floater. No. Pull down Hayward. Over 3 minutes into the game without a field goal. Hayward trying to change that, but he's pushed outside. No basket. Foul on Thomas, and that is now his second. And that brings Miles Plumlee off the bench. Mason Plumlee also entering the game for Zubak.
Well, Jim, keep an eye on the mobility of Hayward and Howard and how that impacts the front line of Duke. Now, both Plumlees are tall and pretty mobile, but can they defend Hayward and Howard away from the basket?
The brothers from Indiana, the Plumlees. And there's a shot from 3 by Shelvin Mack. He was fighting cramps on Saturday, a result of being dehydrated after a bout with food poisoning on Thursday night, but he's fine now.
Not only is he fine, he is fearless and excellent off the dribble for the three-point shot.
Down to Plumlee, and it squirts out to Norred up ahead. Beasley, and that is Shire just stripping it right off his hands.
Terrific hustle by Jon Scheyer, and I think Beasley was a little too casual in going towards the rim. He didn't go with enough urgency, but give Shire all the credit there. He pursued the ball and made an excellent play from behind.
Howard comes out to set a pick. Mack thought about it. Hayward, their top scorer. And now here's Howard. Able to squeeze in between them. Again, a close-range shot. Howard's had 3 of them. None of them have fallen.
Even though they haven't fallen, Jim, he's shown you he can get the shot he wants against any of the Duke front line defenders so far. And he's got the feel that if he continues to get that kind of position and those kinds of looks, he's going to start cashing in on them.
That was a foul on Norred. We'll be right back. Jim Nantz with Clark Kellogg back here in Indianapolis. Duke to inbound. Miles Plumlee looking for a little help.
One of the things Butler does really well is pressure the ball, but all 5 guys work well together as a unit. They'll switch some crosses. They'll help each other out and rotate. 3-second call on Duke that time.
Well, you were talking about Matt Howard, how slippery he is, the good footwork.
Well, he loves to feel his defender and then get around him because he has such good footwork going either way. Now, he's missed a couple of high-quality shots. He loves to go to that left-hand half hook. But the fact that he's been able to get his shot relatively easily has to bode well for him the rest of this ball game.
And he hasn't picked up a foul. He's actually already played longer in the first half of this one than he did each of the last 2 games when he picked up 2 quick ones.
Excellent point, Jim.
Hayward's first shot of the night, back of the rim, into the arms of Singler.
Well, that was excellent defense by Mason Plumlee. He moved his feet and challenged the shot, forced Hayward into a tough look.
And Shire.
Well, we've talked about Matt Howard and how crafty he is, Jim. Shire is much the same way as a perimeter player. Knows how to use that height at 6'5" very effectively to get into the lane.
There's Howard open. This time he's going to the line. Relive the entire tournament with NCAA March Madness on demand. Watch game highlights, buzzer beaters, or complete game replays. It's all free at NCAA.com. Foul on Singler, his first, and the 3rd team foul on Duke. So Howard at the line. He has really thrived at the line in his 3 years at Butler. He's made more free throws than anyone in school history. In fact, he broke the record during this tournament that belonged to Bobby Plump of Hoosiers Milan High School fame. He previously had the most free throws made, but he's missing them at this point. That's 1 for 4 from the line by Howard. That's Singler. Top of the key 3. Howard boxing out. Sean Van Zandt on the floor for the Bulldogs, and there's another 3 by Mack. That's now 17 he's made in the NCAA tournament.
You cannot allow him to walk into his dribble behind that three-point line because he'll lull you to sleep and knock down that 3. He's done it twice off the dribble, Jim.
And he reaches in and takes it away from Mason Plumlee. Still on the drive and knocked down by Singler. Blocked by Singler. Zubak and Thomas are returning. And again, Thomas has the 2 fouls.
Nice drive here. Good job by Shire to hold his position and delay the shot attempt so Singler could come and get it. That was excellent teamwork defensively by Duke. Shire and Singler denying Mack on that layup attempt.
Zach Hahn on the floor for the first time for the Bulldogs, number 3. 3-point shooter he is.
They've gone to Singler on Mack to give him a little more size, and there's Howard picking up an offensive foul.
Zubak drawing the charge. And that's the thing, just how long can Howard stay on the floor?
Well, he lowered the shoulder there, Jim.
Yep.
He's got the foot quickness, and he's got decent ball skills, so he's got to keep his head up in that situation and just be smarter with the dribble.
Brant Stevens is going to monitor his time. He's going to take him out now. Avery Jukes, a senior, in for him, number 24, manning up right now on Zubak. Down low, Singler.
Excellent job by Duke. Singler with a much smaller defender there, Jim. They put him right in the low post and got it to him where he was able to draw the foul.
It was Van Zandt.
And you look at this Butler lineup now. Jukes is more of a perimeter big guy. He can step out and shoot the three. He'll fight Zubak hard. But across the perimeter, who matches up with Singler might have to be Hayward with this lineup on the floor.
One more for Singler. Basketball hero growing up. He resides right here in this city. He also, his hero, took a small school from Hoosier country to the championship game. Larry Bird of Indiana State, Singler's hero.
Well, Van Zandt going to sit down. Willie Veasley back on the floor. So that's about the matchup. Van Zandt pushing 6 foot at best. Beasley about 6'3", so a better matchup. He'll be on most likely Thomas, and then Hayward may play Singler or vice versa.
Now Butler has had a couple of threes from Mack, but they're 0 for 7 from 2. And they've had good looks.
Well, the key for Butler, even though they've not shot it well, Jim, is to maintain contact. To keep this game within 2 or 3 possessions. Because their defense is good enough to give them a chance to stymie Duke.
Beasley. Hayward follows it up. Just has a knack to know where to go. Hayward's first points of the title game.
And as a, excuse me, Jim, but as a player, that's always a nice way to get your first basket. Something easy at the rim.
To the corner. Smith. Zubak got away from Jukes. Jukes behind him commits the foul.
And Zubak may have gotten away with the walk as he shuffled his feet after doing great work for that offensive rebound. But here comes Hayward pursuing the pumpkin. No block out. That was a heck of a catch and finish. Watch this. He retrieves it with the left hand and then moves it to the right. That's unteachable, folks. That is talent and tenacity on that glass.
Zubak. This is his 16th straight start. He's had a healthy senior year. It's made quite a difference. Plus, he's rounded himself into impeccable shape for his last year. He never even started an NCAA tournament game the first 3 years at Duke. Impact maker, though, on this Blue Devil team that's made it to this championship night.
Well, Jim, since he started those 16 games, he's averaged 7 points and 10 rebounds a game.
This is Hahn, and he can shoot from out there, as you can see. Gives Butler the lead at 12-11. Shire with the feed. Basket by Thomas.
Beautifully done. Excellent poise by Shire. He's got a knack for getting into the lane, Jim, and keeping his head up so he can see what's available to him.
That's Norad. Nice aggressive move for the sophomore point guard of Butler.
Typically, he's a reluctant shooter, but as he showed you there, he can take advantage of a driving lane if it's available.
Singler says, "You're going to give it to me, I'm going to take it."
Nice recovery by Butler after starting 1 for 8. They've made 4 of the last 6.
Norad again, not quite enough spin.
Well, he lost his balance. He had a layup on the other side, but he was off balance and had to go to the reverse.
And this time Norad commits the foul. And that is his second. So that becomes the first issue on the Butler side. We've had 5 early lead changes here in Indianapolis. Butler enrollment 4,200. That's the smallest school to reach the championship game since tournament expansion, and winning on Saturday, shooting 30%. Duke last won a championship in 01. 5th time they've been a 1 seed since that title. It was the first time they made it to the title game. since that win in Minneapolis. By the way, during the timeout, they addressed a cut above the eye for Zubac. But they addressed it, and he's back on the floor. Smith with one more free throw. Norred had to stay out of the game with the 2 fouls, so Van Zant's out there, and he's handling it right now with Norred sitting down. Andre Dawkins defending on Van Zant, in for the first time.
Shire matched up with Gordon Hayward.
Mack. Howard had a hand on it. He thought someone had grabbed him. Singler from the wing. Coming down to get it. It's Van Zant. They have not really been able to get Hayward too much into the flow at this end of the floor, as Van Zant rattles home a 2. Had a foot on the line. Ties the game at 16.
Keep an eye on Van Zant. He's matched up with Shire. He's an excellent on-ball defender, much like Ronald Norred. Look how low he gets into his stance.
Singler with the swish.
Boy, he is so smooth, silky smooth, and ever so patient, Jim. He doesn't really force things, much like Hayward. You mentioned Hayward has not taken much, has not gotten into the offense yet. He got the tip in, but he's not going to force it.
Beasley back out to Mack. Mack challenging Singler and blocked by Zubac. Mack, second chance. Sheldon Mack with a spirited first 10 minutes of this game.
You know, in the 5 career tournament games he's played in, actually 6 now after the semifinal, he's averaged 17 points a game, Sheldon Mack.
And it's a call against Shire of Duke, his first. Thursday on CBS, supervillain Russell has his tribe running scared, but has he met his match? It's a new Survivor Thursday only on CBS, America's #1 network. That's John Shire's first turnover in his last 64 minutes of playing time. That's pretty remarkable, as much as he handles it.
He's very sure-handed, Jim. He doesn't take high-risk chances, and his size gives him a chance to see over people as he passes.
Howard battling, tipped up. Yes, Beasley. The offensive foul on Shire goes as a turnover in the books. That's Smith. Rolls off the rim. Bouncing high, and it's Hayward again. Hayward looking up. Feeds it to Beasley. Back to Hayward. Steps back for the 3 from the corner. And there's Howard's second. That's what the Butler faithful were fearing.
Well, we've seen Zubac get one offensive rebound. Here comes streaky, sneaky Willie Beasley. A terrific offensive rebounder for his size. And he just weaseled his way to the basket and got that tip in, as Matt Howard will now watch the rest of this half, Jim. And the next foul sends Duke into the bonus.
Shire, he traveled.
That's what pressure will do. That's what good pressure on the ball and not allowing a guy to cut easily and freely will do.
Hahn back out. Duke's 4th turnover. Only 1 so far by the Bulldogs.
Well, that was a big story in the game against Michigan State, Jim. They had 20 points to only 2 in points off turnovers, did the Butler Bulldogs. It's about freeze and tease for Butler. The free throw game and the turnover game. That's how they often can compensate for being out rebounded when that happens.
Hayward in trouble underneath. Zubac pulls it down. Shire to Smith. Going to take this one. That's going back to Butler. And the teams are headed to the benches. 7:54 to go in the half, and Butler's up by a bucket. Butler shooting 33% from the field, but leading by 2. It's Coach Brad Stevens, 30 years younger than Coach K. Coach K took the Duke job. Brad Stevens was only 3 years old, and 10 years ago Brad Stevens was fresh out of DePaul, not DePaul, DePaul University, and he took a job as a marketing associate about a mile from here at the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly. But his heart said he wanted to be in basketball. Amazing journey to get him
and
not only the head coaching, but then take his team to the Final Four and championship.
And college basketball is thankful that he chose to step into a coaching role, because he's going to be a star, already is, and I think he's got a terrific future.
That's Beasley. No call. Gets it back. Only 2 on the shot clock. Singler has it. So
a lot of contact there going uncalled, but I don't mind that, Jim. Allow a flow to be established, which these officials have. It's going to be physical, and some incidental contact is very much permissible.
Zubac, big height advantage over Hayward.
And a weight advantage too, Jim. He's probably got about 50 lbs on Gordon Hayward and used them effectively there.
Duke's first basket in 3 minutes. Ties it at 20. Van Zandt out to Beasley. This is a 3. Hayward tips it. Comes out to Thomas.
Nice job of blocking out by Duke. Without much of an inside presence now for Butler, they're going to have to be able to move the defense, move the ball, and get good perimeter shots and knock them down.
Shire fouled on the way up in the act of shooting. Called on Hahn. His first. Shelvin Mack hit a couple of early threes.
See, off the dribble, Jim, he lulls you to sleep, looking away, and then if you don't have your hands up, he'll pull the trigger on you and make you look bad. You've got to crowd him. I say you have to rubber band his hands. When he's dribbling that ball, you've got to be right on top of his hands, because he's going into that shooting pocket off the dribble right away.
John Shire, so reliable normally at the line.
Boy, Nolan Smith missed a couple of free throws. He's an excellent free throw shooter, and now Shire, one of the best in the history of NCAA tournament play.
Duke 3 of 7 at the line. Shire, unanimous All-ACC this year. You saw Mack come back onto the floor, along with Miles Plumlee for Duke. Mack, he's taken on Shire. They will not count the basket. They wave it off.
Boy, Shire does so much for this team. I mean, he plays 37, 38 minutes a night or a game, defends a lot of times the toughest perimeter player for the opposing team, and there was the bump as Shelvin Mack was able to get his shoulder by Shire and draw the foul.
2 on Shire, 5 on Duke.
Here goes Mack again, trying to get penetration.
Good look for Beasley. Can't ask for a more open shot than that.
You're right about that, Jim. That's a quality look off a little pseudo penetration. Butler still winning the three-point shooting game, though.
But there's one for Duke. John Shire.
Boy, both of these teams play with so much poise, Jim. You won't see Duke get rattled, nor will you see Butler get rattled.
That ball knocked out by Duke. Tomorrow on CBS, see what makes NCIS TV's #1 drama. New episode tomorrow only on America's most watched network. Hayward to inbound from the corner. 21 on the shot clock. 5.5 to go in the first half. It's been tight throughout. Duke's largest lead earlier was 5. Mack in trouble. Trying to call a timeout. Jump ball called instead. And the arrow is Butler's.
That was a heck of a play by Plumlee. Got out there and got a piece of the ball without fouling. And then you see Mack scrambling for it. He was looking to try to call a timeout, but a good hustle by Smith and a good job by the officials not to automatically give a timeout call there. They let that play out enough to where it became a held ball, and it goes to Duke.
Well, they had the arrow set the wrong way on the floor, so there's some fans here that are upset about it. See, Butler had won the tip, so naturally it would be Duke's the next time, but it had not been reset. So here is Thomas and Duke. Singler.
Great move.
Wow.
Playing through some contact. That is a terrific move by Singler in a danger zone now as Brad Stevens recognizes Duke trying to pull away here and calls a good timeout.
An 8-0 run by Duke. And the Blue Devils have their largest lead at 6. Hometown teams in the title game. CCNY back in 1950 won the championship. So did UCLA in '68. And again in '72, Los Angeles was the host site. Bruins won it. What about Butler? One thing about it, though, they wanted the experience of being at the Final Four. They've been staying not on campus. They've been staying in a downtown Indianapolis hotel. But Ronald Norrad, Gordon Hayward, and 8 of the Bulldogs today were in class.
Impressive.
How about that? If you had a 9 or a 10 o'clock class, they were shuttled back to campus.
Well, the convenience of being so close to campus certainly makes that possible. And this guy has to get going. Good look. Nice tip by Jukes. But I think Hayward has to assert himself a little more without Norrad on the floor to run things offensively.
That's Jukes, the senior.
We thought he might be able to use his foot speed against Zubek, and that time he did get to the lane, but I think that was kind of a fortunate shot.
Yeah, improvising all the way to the hole. That broke a 4-minute, 13-second stretch without a hoop for the Bulldogs.
It's a very important basket. We showed Norrad sitting out with the 2 fouls.
Watch this shot. Dawkins, the freshman. Got a beautiful stroke. Hit 2 big ones in the regional final, but not that one. Now Hayward taking on Singler.
Beautiful.
Gordon Hayward now with 4 on the game.
Excellent control, Jim. He knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to get into the body of Singler, but he needed to be under control. Went to the spin move and then the soft finish. Beautifully done.
That's Singler. Rebound to Mack. Looks like a well-timed timeout call by
no question about it.
Brad Stevens. Jukes.
He can shoot it.
For the lead.
He can make the 3.
7 unanswered by the Bulldogs. Smith right back, the lead to Duke.
I tell you what, both of these teams are so unflappable. A credit to both coaches and to these kids. But they play with poise, they play with freedom, they play with focus. Boy, it is fun to watch these guys go at it.
Butler playing without its starting point guard and center as Norrad and Howard remain on the bench with the 2 fouls as Mack goes past Thomas, who has 2 fouls. There's another chance. Jukes. Beasley in the right spot. Underneath. Zubak influences the shot.
Boy, Beasley's got to think about pulling that out, giving up so much size after doing such great work to come up with that offensive rebound.
Timeout Duke. 2:40 to go in the half. You are monitoring very closely on Saturday the second chance points category in that Butler-Michigan State game. Bulldogs had a big advantage in that one. Going to have a slight edge in this one at the start.
I tell you what, in terms of offensive rebounding, we talked about it at the top, how Butler had the defensive rebounding, and they are doing that, Jim. They're one of the best in the country at defensive rebounding percentage. But how about the offensive rebounding? That's Duke's strength, and Butler winning that battle right now. And look at the rebounding story total. Butler +3.
We've had 2 ties and 9 lead changes in this first half. Shire. He banks it home. Spins it around, too.
He didn't call that one, Jim. You can be assured of that. But he'll take it. And he's yet to miss a shot from the floor.
8 points for Shire.
Shire backing off Van Zandt, although Van Zandt can shoot the 3. You don't want to back off this guy, Shelvin Mack. He'll pull it on you.
Right over Nolan Smith. Hayward came bouncing in. Man, there's a call. Some wanted a travel. Others thought there had been a foul earlier. It's going to be a foul call on Duke. Is it jump ball?
I think so, partner.
All right. We'll be right back to Indianapolis. And Miles Brand remembered here. And the NCAA president who passed away last October. Man who influenced thousands of lives.
He sure did.
Made a big difference.
Very much missed, but his presence still felt. A terrific leader and advocate for student athletes.
Hahn, good pass. Oh, Jukes misses the dunk. Got the follow-up, though.
How big has Jukes been, Jim? He's got 7 points in the absence of Matt Howard. He's made a 3 and 2 putbacks. Well, 2 in close shots, I should say. Got rim jammed on that first one, but persistence pays.
As Shire with the ball bouncing out off of one hop, it's Hahn.
There you look at Matt Howard. It's always been about the next guy stepping up for these Butler Bulldogs. They never fret about who's not available, whether it's injury or fouls. They feel like everybody on this roster can do his job effectively when called upon. That's part of the reason they're here.
Stripped away. Beasley lost it. Shire had it. Smith waiting on the wing. Cans a 3. We get that Duke team in transition. And even though it got sloppy for a second, guys filling in spots, and Smith was wide open, waiting for it.
Well said, Jim. You're exactly right. 8-second differential, so Butler can't take the last shot.
How about a 3 by Jukes? Oh, the senior who started his career at Alabama and transferred to Butler, now with 10 off the bench. Final 12 seconds of the half. He has tied a season high as Jukes. Smith with 5 seconds. Well, it's going to be a reach-in call on Butler. And it's going to be a 1-and-1. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Join Greg Gumbel, Greg Anthony, Seth Davis for a breakdown of the first half. Plus, they'll speak live with West Virginia's Deshaun Butler, who was injured, as you'll recall, in the Mountaineers semifinal game against Duke on Saturday. And the awarding of the AT&T Naismith Player of the Year coming up on AT&T at the half.
Well, speaking of our guys in the studio, Greg, and Seth, Greg Anthony said one of the keys in tonight's game would be Butler needing an X factor. Guess who it's been? Avery Jukes with 10 points. A couple of 3s and 2 two-point field goals.
Smith 1-and-1. Tipped out. Smith, no, and we go to the half. A 1-point game. Duke in front.
Well, Matt Howard back on the floor there. You look at Gordon Hayward, only 4 points, but 7 big rebounds for Gordon. I think he'll have to be more assertive offensively, look to be aggressive and hunting his shot a little more. Norred back on the floor as well, playing with 2 fouls.
That's Hayward. No foul call.
Good challenge without fouling.
Picked up by Matt.
Well, you got to throw it into Howard being defended by Lance Thomas.
Oh. That'll send Hayward to the line.
That's not a bad matchup to take advantage of either. Brian Zubek, we talked about the advantage that Howard or Hayward would have with their foot speed if Zubek is on him, and Hayward recognized that and went right to the rim.
The sophomore from Brownsburg, Indiana, a suburb of Indianapolis. He's a twin. He has a twin sister, Heather, and she's at Butler as well, and she's a student athlete. She's on the tennis team.
Gordon was a heck of a tennis player in high school as well. Jim, as a matter of fact, that's part of the reason that he was a little bit under the radar as far as recruiting for basketball goes, because he wasn't on the AAU circuit one summer.
That is Singler. He's got 12 now on the night. We've had 11 lead changes. Butler trailing in the second half, as this team has in every tournament game. They've trailed in the second half. Going on the win, though. Norred. That pass not thrown with enough aggression, picked off by Duke. Another 3. Singler snatches it away from the Bulldogs. Now Shire loads it up quickly. Zubak and Howard, as Howard better be careful. He hits the backboard. Of course, coming off that concussion.
Mike Krzyzewski thought one of his players had gotten fouled. Actually, it was Shire. Here we take a look at the scramble for the loose ball. I just think a good, clean, hard play that time.
Jump ball, Butler. You talked about Norred. He gave them only 7 minutes in that first half. It gives them a lot on the defensive end of the floor, that's for sure. That's a second on Zubak. 2 quick ones, his first 2 of the night, in less than 90 seconds.
Well, trying to deny that pass at the foul line. You're much better off not reaching in and just playing behind Howard there.
Beasley, senior, rattles out.
Boy, Duke has been the more efficient offensive team, Jim. They have not gotten nearly as many shot attempts because of the rebounding advantage that Butler has enjoyed, but they've shot a higher percentage. There you see the numbers. They're right around 50%. Butler at 33%, and the quality of shots for Butler has been pretty good, Jim. They've just not knocked down enough of them. Boy, Howard really battling with Zubak inside. He's got to be careful and be smart. Zubak is not really a threat to look to score with his back to the basket. So just play solid defense and don't get hung up on trying to be ultra physical with it.
2 seconds shot clock. Smith over Hayward, and that's a violation.
Terrific defense that time by Butler. Well, you know, Butler averages about 50 shot attempts per game on average, Jim. They had 38 shots in that first half. And they're on pace to take over 70 shots in this game, but they've got to hit a better percentage than they do.
Oh, there's the percentage shot.
There it is.
Howard.
You're right, sitting down in the low post.
His first field goal of the game. And he and Zubak both battling, both with 2 fouls, away from the ball. Singler. Oh! Zubak, hold on.
Not sure yet who the foul was called on. Was it on Howard? Yeah, it was on.
Yeah, they originally signaled Jukes, who's not on the floor. So it's on Howard, and that will mean Jukes will come in for him. So Howard has his 3rd. Thomas says, hey, you're not going to respect my outside shot? I'll show you.
That's exactly what he's supposed to do. The Butler defense was trying to help out on the high-low as he looked inside to Zubak, and that freed him up for the jumper.
Norred lays it in. Able to weave right past the Duke defenders. Tying it again at 38.
Boy, with Matt Howard not out there to be a post presence, that lane is wide open for Butler. I think Matt, Hayward, and Norred have to really be aggressive in looking to drive against Duke's defense. Boy, look at Jukes fighting the bigger Zubak inside.
Thomas, not this time. It's Zubak with another offensive rebound. Sets up Shire. Thomas on the floor, he traveled. Masters Live streams exclusive video of Amen Corner Live, 15 and 16 Live, featured group live, plus Masters Extra showing bonus coverage of the entire field. CBSSports.com/Masters Live and Masters.com. Drives in to put Butler up by 2.
See, I think that's what they've got to continue to do. Duke is having a tough time dealing with the spacing, the lane being open, and the ability of Norred, Mack, and even Hayward. All of those guys are excellent drivers.
Mack's first field goal since 9.5 minutes. We're on the clock in the first half. Shire to Smith. Thomas. Every pass challenged. Smith. Wow, tough shot.
Extremely tough. Well done by Nolan Smith. That's playing with poise and physicality. You got to play through contact tonight, Jim. Those little bumps are not being called.
That's off Norad's knee, and that'll bring the teams to the benches. 40-40. Singler, the top gun for the Devils. He won his first here in the Circle City in '91. Then again in '92, had a 9-year stretch before he won it again. That was 2001, and this would be another 9 years if he's able to get it tonight. John Shire was at that game when Duke won it in '01 up in Minneapolis. He was there as a guest of Michael Wright on the Arizona team, cheering for the Wildcats, cheering against Duke. Little did he know he'd end up playing there one day, in fact, playing for a championship for him.
Ironic. Spread it out and try to let Nolan go to work on his own.
He better hurry up. Reaching in, Van Zandt. Never had possession to change the shot clock, so it's only a 1-tick possession coming up here for Duke as Matt Howard's coming back out with the 3 fouls.
They know Duke is going to try to put this one up quickly. They have to, so Brad Stevens trying to get Howard in there to be a big body to help on the glass.
Lobs it. Plumlee got it away in time, and it's tipped up and in by John Shire.
Wow.
Shire inbounds it. Plumlee did a magnificent job getting it off.
He sure did, Jim. I mean, he threw a sweeping hook, didn't he? From about 12 feet that hit the rim.
Then Shire, after he inbounds it, goes right to the hoop for the follow-up. Gives Duke the lead. Howard working on Plumlee, puts it up. Tipped up, no.
That's his 4th foul.
Well, that is a big call. Matt Howard, number 4. The other end, it was Shire coming in.
Yeah, he came in over the top. Terrific work by John Shire. And Matt Howard now with his 4th foul. He's only got 1 speed, and it cost him. I mean, he has to be a little more discreet when he's in the foul trouble that he's in there. You like the young man's effort and intensity, but sometimes discretion the better part of valor.
So mark it down at the 14-10 mark.
Yep. Well, one thing you've seen with Howard not on the floor is that Jukes is a guy who forces Zubek to get out of the lane because he can shoot the 3. And as a result, the Butler perimeter players have been able to drive to the basket effectively.
Shire over Van Zandt. Norad, an impressive rebound. Wanted to run the floor, no one to help out. Takes it all the way, swatted away Singler.
Great help by Singler. That's the 2nd time he's done that tonight, Jim.
Yep, pair of blocks. Beasley taking on Singler here, whips it to the corner. Norad all set, hits the 3, and Butler leads by 1.
How about this kid? Not known as a 3-point shooter, not a great foul shooter, made 2 big ones against Michigan State. He's simply a winner, in the words of his coaches and teammates. He finds a way to get winning things done, even when they're out of character for him.
And that's Hayward fronting Singler, but it's off Butler.
Duke doing a nice job this half on the offensive glass after Butler was enjoying a huge advantage in half 1. Duke with 5 offensive rebounds in this half, Jim. Shot clock at 14.
That's going to be on Jukes.
Well, that's just a case of not being on balance, and that's what Norred is telling you.
3rd foul on Jukes.
Wow. That could be large, Jim. They don't have many other big bodies.
Got Andrew Smith, the freshman.
Yeah, he's the only guy that's actually.
Singler step back 3.
Caught him napping. Excellent work by Duke. They caught Butler napping just a bit, and it cost him a 3.
15 for Singler. Timeout, Duke. Kyle Singler's having 15 points, 7 rebounds, pair of assists, 2 blocks. His parents in from Oregon. His father right there in the middle, former quarterback at Oregon State. That's Big Ed, and his wife Chris, who was a basketball player at Oregon State, and also caught a glimpse of his younger brother, EJ, who's playing ball. Started a number of games this year for the Oregon Ducks.
Well, Jim, Duke starting to assert itself on the offensive glass this half. They've taken 12 shots to Butler's 7 here in the second half. There's Jukes. He can shoot it down. The ball fake gets him in the lane, and Zubek got there late.
And it's his third. Gotten there a little earlier. It could have drawn the fourth on Jukes.
Close out by Shire, and Jukes doing a nice job. He actually was there, but then he leaned in. I think he was there early enough, Jim. He just leaned in and didn't hold his ground.
Well, we've been impressed, obviously, by Jukes' play in that first half when he had 10 points. He actually has a charity foundation, the Avery Jukes Foundation for Kids. A few years back, he made a summer trip to Uganda and decided he wanted to do all he could to help raise money to feed and clothe children over in Africa. Opened his own charity foundation, got his own website. Pretty remarkable man.
Serving others as we take a look at the foul situation for both teams. Moorhead has gone a pretty good distance here in the second half with the two big misses there by Jukes. Those opportunities don't come along often. It's been a low turnover game. We got a whistle here.
It's going to be on Beasley underneath. He was holding up Singler right under the basket. That's the first on Beasley. And it's the fourth team foul of the half on Butler. This entire second half's been played within a 4-point range. A lead of 2 either side, make it now 4.
Miscommunication that time. A couple of people went to the perimeter, and that left Zubek all alone at the rim. 2
big baskets on inbounds underneath. One with a second on the shot clock.
And in a tight game like this, Jim, where both teams doing a good job taking care of the ball, those are the kind of plays that can turn it for you.
Oh! That's a charge, no basket. Hayward hit with the call.
Wow. You look at Shire. Was he in that imaginary area underneath the basket? Oh, boy. He hopped right into his path. Let's take another look. Oh, wow. I think that should have been a block. Because he hop-stepped into the path of Gordon Hayward. He wasn't there. Tough break going against Butler that time.
First on Hayward. And erases a basket.
Gordon Hayward trying to deal with Zubek inside now. Jukes has the 3 fouls. He's kind of playing off Lance Thomas.
From the free throw line, back to the rim. That's Jukes pulling it down. Hayward want to drive in again.
Got fouled that time.
Yep. It's called on Zubek, and that's his 4th. Jim Nance and Clark Kellogg back here at the title game. There's Brian Zubek. He's picked up all 4 of his fouls in the second half. He has all 4 of Duke's fouls, in fact, since halftime. And on the other side, Howard been sitting since the 14-10 mark with his 4. Hayward at the line for 2.
Well, both of these teams have left a little cheese on the line, Jim. Butler only 3 of 8. Duke 4 of 9 so far.
Hayward. Well, his family thought he's probably going to be bound for Purdue. Both of his parents. Do you see him there? Gordon Sr. and Jody. And there's his twin sister, Heather, on that tennis team at Butler. Hayward got a phone call this week congratulating him for going to the Final Four from Andy Roddick. He couldn't believe it. He was sky high about that.
As well he should be. A guy who's played high school tennis at the highest level getting a call from Roddick.
It's Thomas. Over Jukes.
Nicely done. Very assertive move by Lance Thomas, who rarely looks for his own offense.
He's a guy that does a lot of things, and it's not always in the points category. The glue, what they call him. Here's Hayward again. He thinks he can go inside now. It's 3 straight times, and he's earned 2 more free throws. See why USA Today calls The Mentalist incredibly entertaining and terrific. Don't miss a new episode Thursday only on CBS #1, America's #1 network. Miles Plumlee charged with his first.
Well, Brad Stevens has to like what he's seen from Gordon Hayward the last 2 trips, Jim. Looking aggressively to take the ball to the basket. And without Matt Howard on the floor, that lane is wide open. Butler going small now.
Yeah, big time small. Jukes is out, and Howard, of course, still sits.
That means they've got to gang rebound and really block out. You help yourself defensively when you're small if you can really pressure the ball and make the offensive team uncomfortable. Then you've really got to be like pit bulls, blocking out and attacking the basketball on a missed shot.
Hayward 6 of 6 at the line.
Singler can get his shot over Van Zandt anytime he wants it.
Smith takes the shot. It's Norrad underneath with Plumlee. And this time the arrow to Duke.
How about Norrad? That's the way you go in there after a loose ball, like you want it and like you're hungry. Look at this little fella get in there. He timed it perfectly, Jim. Sometimes people think rebounding is about size and positioning. Those things are important, but a lot of times it's timing that supersedes all of that. When do you get there? And how aggressively do you get there?
Again, they beat him on the inbounds pass. Shire gave a little nod to Singler, and he just lobbed it up in front of the rim.
That's playing basketball. That's not running a play, that's making a play. Recognizing what's there, and then using your instincts to complete it.
Norrad misses the short one.
He's bothered by the height of Plumlee because he got to the rim comfortably.
Ball tapped out by Beasley. This is 3 times in the second half. Duke scored on just a short toss inbounding underneath.
And in a tight game, Jim, that was an excellent recognition. There you see Shire looked off the defenders a bit, but Singler knew exactly what he was going to do. And Van Zandt, I mean, even if he knew that pass was coming, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it because he was giving up about a foot. But you know, in a tight game like this, Jim, it comes down to free throws, turnovers, and sometimes out of bounds plays that you score on.
Shire, and it's Mack. The biggest lead of this game, either side, was 6 by Duke. Mack cuts it down to 2.
He can get his shot, can he? He uses that strong body to get that defender off of him. He does it legally and efficiently. And boy, Butler's had tremendous success driving the ball this half.
Smith lost it on the drive. Loose ball picked up by Hayward. This place is electric. No one's been able to pull away. Every single possession challenged, and a foul call against Duke. That's on Miles Plumlee, his second. And Zubac returns with 4 fouls.
One more foul on Duke, and Butler will be in the bonus.
Mack. Beasley goes right past Zubac, who snaps it back outside. Back to the corner. Beasley with the 3. Thomas comes flying in for the rebound.
Boy, those are great quality looks. And because Zubac is going to be matched up with a smaller, more mobile guy, driving the ball is exactly what Butler needs to do to create good shot opportunities.
Over the top. Hayward reached in and knocked it loose.
Boy, that looked like a foul on Hayward. He was all over Zubac there. Driving.
Here he goes.
That's the right play and an excellent recovery by Duke defensively that time.
Unable to finish it, but confident he can take it right to the basket now every time.
Well, Zubac can't guard him. Not away from the goal. Good job here by Duke to settle it down and try to get something inside. Well done.
It's a foul first against Van Zandt.
That's a good job of slowing it down, recognizing where your mismatch is. Singler being defended by Van Zandt, who's giving up close to a foot to Kyle Singler. And now both teams 1 foul away
Yep,
from being in the bonus.
6 on each side. Hahn comes in. Hayward goes out. Mack also going out.
Well, partner, to this point, it's been everything we anticipated it might be. Hard fought, close, possession by possession.
Everything and more.
Yep.
That's Shire. Count the basket. Got the under 8 timeout. 4th foul, 2 on Jukes. Shire can make it a 3-point play when we come back. It's been pretty much at this very point during the tournament where Duke has started to pull away from opponents. They got a chance to go up 5 with Shire heading to the line. Biggest lead, again, it's only been 6. The big 3, though, putting up the bulk of the work for the Blue Devils on the offensive end.
That's been the story all year long, Jim. They've already accounted for 40 of the 53 points we see on the board now, and Shire will have a chance to add to it. Matt Howard coming back in for Butler with the 4 fouls.
Set for 6.5 minutes. He and Zubek both with 4 fouls, and Jukes now taken out with 4.
Well, I think if you're Butler with Matt Howard on the floor, you've got to try to go to him in the post against Zubek, who has the 4 fouls. See if you can maybe milk that matchup a little bit.
This is the biggest lead of the second half for Duke. 5-point advantage. Sheldon Mack is not back out there. To Howard. Thomas reaches in, picks up his 3rd.
Well, nice job that time. They moved Zubek around a little bit and got a little screen for Matt Howard. And he was just able to beat Thomas to the ball. But now he's got to cash in from the line.
He failed to do that in the first half.
Yes, he did. 1 of 4.
You know, it was pointed out to me this week that there are over 4,000 kids playing Division I basketball. Only 15 can be recognized as an academic All-America, as you see Mack return. 2 of those 15 are in this game tonight, and they're not on Duke. Matt Howard at the line, 1st team academic All-America. Gordon Hayward, 3rd team.
Well, for Matt Howard, it's the 2nd time he's been an academic All-American. Very impressive.
Hits the 2 free throws and is replaced by Jukes.
And it lets you see that you can achieve at a high level between these lines and take care of your business in the classroom, too.
Shire, that's Norad who got a hand on it, but it comes back out to Smith. Going to switch off.
Just to help and recover there. An extended help by Jukes.
That's going to be Norad with the push.
You know, he was looking for that screen because that's what Duke likes to do late in the shot clock with Shire. They'll run Zubek up to that foul line area to set a screen or the 3-point line, and I think Norad was trying to anticipate the screen, shifted his body one way, and then Shire went to the right, and Norad was out of position and committed the foul.
Howard.
See, he's looking for the screen, and now Shire, recognizing that, goes to the right. That's just another good, smart play by Shire.
1-and-1. Howard came back out onto the floor. Takes it back to 5. Approaching 7 minutes. Mack coming in. Blocked.
Singler.
Singler's 3rd block of this game.
And that may have been his best. He was out, he was beaten. And he just kept pursuing Shelvin Mack and got him from behind.
Thomas, ball came out. Not sure that was touched. They're going to say it stays with Duke.
Singler's beaten, but then he stays with it. All ball. Terrific work by Kyle Singler.
Duke's killed him on the inbounds. It's 13 seconds on the shot clock.
They've had a size advantage on those baskets they've been able to get other than Shire's tip in.
6 on the shot clock. Howard better be careful. Smith gets past him. Hayward tips it over to Matt.
Good job.
Norred takes it into the paint. Put it up too strong.
Boy, terrific drive by Norred, and that's a tough one when your momentum is taking you so strong. You got to soften up that shot on the move, and he wasn't able to do it there.
Last 2 trips, they've been in close and failed to convert.
You start to see Duke maybe wearing down Butler just a touch, Jim. 14-7 on the glass here in this second half.
Shire, and that's Zubac.
Make it 15-7 now.
Oh, he threw it into the backcourt. Bulldogs had to have a couple of big defensive stands these last few possessions, and they did it. It's a timeout called by Butler, and the Bulldogs will have possession when we come back. For really any championship event, they always come through. Butler without a field goal for almost 4 minutes now, and they're at a crisis point.
Yeah.
As you feel like Duke is just trying to get one little flurry.
Yeah, starting to wear them down with the size, Jim. The last few drives, Butler has not been able to get a good shot off at the rim. They're going to have to knock down a perimeter shot or two to maintain contact so Duke can't crack this open.
Oh, my goodness. This is going to be a call.
Boy, that's a tough one. Shire thought he got all ball there, and it certainly looked like it from this angle. He just dug in there. We call that digging down on the post player. Watch Shire. He's going to dig down. Oh, he did get his arm. He got all
he
out.
did.
Yeah, he didn't touch any basketball at all, so good look at it.
1-1 for Howard.
Yeah, he knows he got it. That's a look of guilt.
Howard heavily recruited by Matt Painter up at Purdue. Would have come in with that Robbie Hummel, Etwan Moore, Juwan Johnson pass, but they ran out of scholarships and ends up at Butler.
Well, he's made a couple of big free throws here, Jim.
Yes, he has.
Very important.
Back to the bench.
Nice job here to try to play offense-defense with Jukes and Howard. And this team has risen to the occasion defensively all year long. Can they do it again?
And this crowd is rising to its feet. 70,000 strong. Singler, who's been a big star tonight. Stolen by Norred. Up ahead to Hayward. Thomas comes in and a big collision.
Just a good, solid, clean play, in my opinion. Now, the officials are going to talk about it. Let's take a look. Yeah, he made a play on the ball. There's nothing flagrant about that. When a guy falls awkwardly, a lot of times the initial reaction is that it's a flagrant. But there's nothing flagrant about that. He reached in for the ball, and it was an awkward fall. It wasn't over-aggressive or excessive contact. It was simply a foul on a high-speed play that led to an awkward fall.
Well, they're at the replay monitor reviewing this. It's going to be the 4th foul on Lance Thomas.
Yeah, I really think he's reaching in for the ball. They get their arms tied up. As a result, it's an awkward fall for Hayward, and I think it's just 2 shots.
That's it. And walk away with that decision. Not flagrant.
And that's the right call.
His mother, Jody, Father Gordon Sr. 2 for Hayward, who's 6 for 6 at the line in this half.
Well, there you see Gordon and Jody. Jody actually gave Gordon Hayward for his 20th birthday recently. favorite Bible verse and a basketball and a little gift.
That was earlier in the tournament.
Yep.
The free throws make it a one-point game. Timeout, Blue Devils. Can't ask for a game better than this. 5 minutes to go for the title. Duke by 1.
Well, you said it going to the timeout. You can't ask for much more. This is worthy of an NCAA championship.
Yes, indeed. And really fitting for the way this tournament has played out.
No question about it.
It's been a great dance.
And now it's about which team is going to dance best over these next 450.
Singler.
He's been dancing all night.
Yes, he
and
has.
Making sweet music.
Another timeout called.
I think it may have been Butler there, Jim.
Timeout, Butler off the Singler make. A mid-major taking on one of the giant programs in college basketball. Butler out of the Horizon League. Duke out of the ACC. Coming down to 4:42 to go. Bulldogs have it. Down 3. Off the knee of Norred, or did it touch a Duke player? Well, they're going to say it didn't touch Norred last. Hayward pulls up, puts up the high arching shot, and it bounces into the hands of Shire.
You see the domination of Duke on the glass here in the second half. That's part of the recipe for success. They wear teams down with that size in the paint area.
Almost stripped.
Boy, Norred is so good at getting his hands on the ball because he stays low and he's active with his hands.
Shire, pull-up shot. Tapped out into the hands of Singler.
Zubac taking advantage of that extra size he has. He can be blocked out, but he's so much bigger than the guy boxing him out that he's able to reach in and get the tap back. Another possession for Duke, and they will not be in a hurry. Both teams over the limit, so you run your best sets, and you probably try to play through Kyle Singler. He's been fantastic all night. 8 offensive rebounds this half for Duke.
5 on the shot clock. Schmidt splits the defender, puts up the floater, and he's fouled. Well, is this going to be a Duke night or a Hoosiers sequel? You remember the line in the movie before the game? They said, let's go win this one for all the small schools who never had a chance to be here. .316 remaining, and Nolan Smith coming to the line to shoot 2 shots. That's the first make at the line the night for Nolan. He missed his first 3, and there's his mother, Monica. We saw her at halftime on the set. She was just sensational.
He sure was. And Nolan knocks them both down, and Mom is well pleased and nervous.
Butler has gone 6 minutes, 20 seconds without a field goal.
Well, they need to make a jumper or 2, I think, to have a chance, and the ball taken away. But it's going to stay with Butler because Shelvin Mack got on top of it with Thomas to force the held ball.
Big play by Thomas.
Sure was almost a big play.
Yep, but it also will move that arrow back over to the Duke side here with 3 minutes to go if it's needed.
Well, I talked about it earlier, Jim. Offensive efficiency. We hit that at the top of the telecast for Butler, and they've gone a long time without a made field goal. Free throw shooting has kept them in it.
Remember, they did this against Michigan State, too. They won 11.5 minutes. Actually had just 1 field goal in the last 12-18 of that game.
Let's keep an eye on the shot clock here as this ball is deflected by Thomas. Scrum, tie up, held ball, and the shot clock probably should have elapsed another couple of seconds before it reset. trying to figure out if there was actually a change in possession. It looked like Thomas had it cleanly, didn't it?
For a moment he did.
Yeah, and then Shelvin Mack got back on top. So it was an opportunity to reset the shot clock there. So a full shot clock for the Bulldogs as they inbound now. Good piece of work by our officiating crew. They've been, I think, excellent all night.
And Smith knocks it out.
Shelvin Mack and Matt Howard a little confused there with one another as to what they wanted to try to get done, and it almost cost him again.
Hayward's been living at the line in the second half, but has not made a basket. Field goal.
Mack is a big shot maker and taker if he gets daylight. He doesn't need much room.
Howard. Mack, one baseline, floater, slides off the rim into the arms of Shire.
Boy, good look at it, though.
Singler coming around, driving in, and that's a travel call against Singler.
He turned that corner a little bit off balance. And that was a good call because Matt Howard was in good position. He slid laterally, didn't jump into the path. I think that's the right call there. Singler lost his feet, and when you do that, it's a walk. Butler has to make a perimeter shot, Jim, or some type of field goal.
They missed their last 6.
Yeah, they can't get it done all the way if they don't make a bucket.
That was a block by Shire. Hayward behind the back, gives it up to Howard, and it bounces in. Minute 40 to go. One possession game.
He's been the man all night for Duke. Singler.
Smith into paint, lays it up, no, off the rim. Norad and the Bulldogs taking off to the wing for the tie. Mack back of the rim. Howard comes crashing in, keeps it for Butler.
That's the shot Mack loves. He loves that pull-up three. You don't need it now, though. It doesn't have to be a three now. Just get a good shot.
That's a good shot right there. Howard again on the inside. It's down to 1. Timeout, Duke. Have you ever seen a scene like this, Clark?
Have not, but I'm loving it. I'm loving it, partner. Mix up. Wide open. 1-point game.
Here's the situation. Blue double ball. 1 timeout left for Duke. Next foul on each side. Double bonus. Clark, little strategy here with 49 seconds.
Well, you've got a 14-second differential between game and shot clock, so Duke has to run one of its best plays. I think you look for Singler coming off some type of screen action, but I think you want to go fairly quickly. But you want to make sure, as you look at Tracy Stevens, Brad's wife, you want to make sure you get a high-quality shot. Ideally, Jim, you would like to get it quickly. If you don't get a good one, then you use whatever time you need to try to get the quality shots you want.
During that timeout, we learned that Howard had blood on his hand. Of course, you can't be out there if you're bleeding. So he toweled off.
See, this
taped him up, too. You saw Tracy Stevens, Mickey Krzyzewski.
This is an ideal time, Jim, really to go 2 for 1. If you have it in your playbook, it's not something that college coaches do on a regular basis, but we know Coach Krzyzewski has coached the Olympic team. So let's see how quickly they try to operate. Not looking for 2 for 1, that's obvious.
Singler open shot, short. Oh, and Howard was thrown down, no call.
And it was off Zubek's foot.
It's going to Butler.
Boy, a lot of hand fighting. Howard flopped a little bit there, and you saw the ball go off Zubek's foot. Well, Zubek did move him a little bit. Howard embellished, but at the end of the play, that ball hit Brian Zubek's foot.
Shot clock is off. Norad to Matt. Hayward hasn't touched it. 15 seconds. Matt. Zubak deflects it. Stays with Butler with 13.6 seconds. Timeout, Butler. Do you believe in sequels?
Certainly looks that way, doesn't it, partner? My goodness.
That young man right there had a mild moment. Brownsburg won a state championship with no time left. Hit the shot in the lane.
Well, here you're down one. You have to get a shot up with 4 or 5 seconds ideally on the clock.
Look at Hinkle Fieldhouse, packed, 12,000 strong. Capacity is 10,000.
Because you want to give yourself a chance, Jim, for a putback. And even if you don't convert, perhaps a quick foul to stretch it out. But I think you've got to try to get a shot up, especially as good as Butler is defensively. I think you try to get it up right around that 5, 6, 7 second mark. Give yourself a chance. If you don't score to tip it in, then you've got a chance to immediately foul after that.
Zubak is going to guard the inbounds pass.
Biggest guy on the floor, going to try to bother the vision of Hayward. Pretty good move. You got to set your screens. You don't want to throw that ball into the corner if you're Butler.
Okay, here we go. Hayward needs help, has to call the timeout.
That's a tough spot to get it inbounds because it's so tight to the corner.
Strange angles. Zubak with that big wingspan made that difficult for Hayward to see any kind of seam, and now they've changed the inbound thrower. It's going to be Howard instead of Hayward.
Well, it gives Hayward a chance to be involved in maybe screening and catching the pass.
Well, there it is, out to Hayward. Singler defending. 10 seconds to go. He wants to drive behind the back. On the baseline, fadeaway shot off the rim into Zubak's hands. 3.6 seconds.
Well done. Good shot for your best player. You got it on the rim, and 3.6. You're able to foul, and that would still give you time to maybe have one more possession. Good defense by Singler, moving his feet, not fouling. Challenged by Zubak. Well, that's good all the way around, and it was right on line. Right on line. Terrific job by Gordon Hayward to jump stop and then lean back. But that's outstanding defense by Duke.
Yep, with Zubak, of course, with that long arm, too, it made Hayward launch it just a little longer, you would think. Now Zubak, for the whole tournament, 7 out of 12 at the line. 2 shots. His father, Paul. Butler has no timeouts.
So they would hope that Zubak makes this.
Not going to try. It's Hayward pulling it down. Getting around Zubak. At midcourt, launches the shot. Oh, it almost went in! Almost went in, and Duke is the king of the dance, 2010.